Wicked Witches! So, you might notice that I'm not at home. I have cycled to an Airbnb that's not far from my home, where I can be outside next to nature and just have a bit of headspace, because I haven't been on my own since January, and I'm someone who really needs to be on their own for chunks of time. And yeah, I hadn't had any time to myself since January, and I was starting to get quite ratty and it was starting to affect my mental health, and my PMT was getting worse than ever, and yeah, it was just really starting to have an effect on me. So I hired an Airbnb, and I'm here doing a writing retreat for a week. And it feels really good as well, because the whole lockdown thing is like, I'm really vulnerable because I have asthma, and it's just been making me feel really uncomfortable the way that the lockdown's been eased. And the worst thing about it is, like, lockdown was like kind of more bearable when everyone was doing it together because we were protecting vulnerable people. Now it's just like, oh well, sod it. And it just means that if you are vulnerable, then you're just like left to your own devices. So, and it just means I feel quite isolated now, and like just got to deal with it myself, you know. And that's frustrating. So it's quite nice to just take myself away from it all for a week and be off of social media and just have a bit of space, because I wasn't feeling well, and needed to do that. And you know, the work with doing the lunar ceremonies was amazing and has been amazing. I've really loved doing it, but it's a lot. You're giving quite a lot doing it, and so it's really important that one refills one's well. When you're feeling depleted, you need to refill the well. So I am having a proper well-filling time. This place is gorgeous, and there's a whole massive meadow down there. Just like I've got my own meadow. It's huge. And then there's a little bench down the end there, and there's a cacophony of birds. I've never heard so many birds. So I've been in a flat for 2 months with no garden, and it's just wonderful that I can just go straight out the door and belly flop onto the grass. That's what I needed. And I'm writing my book. So I've got 2 books on the go at the moment, which I'm really excited about. One which so every 7 years I'm writing a book, and this year is one of the 7 years. So I'm writing that one, but I also have an idea for another book that I'm really excited about, that's kind of like trying to get itself out at the moment. That's the one that wants to be played with at the moment. So I'm doing both. So I'm working on 2 novels, and it's just wonderful to be able to breathe and be like, So, you know, it takes quite a lot. You know, I have to negotiate this with my husband, and he doesn't particularly like me doing it. He's not the same as me. So I always thought that I was an extrovert, obviously. I always thought I was an extrovert. And then a friend of mine recently said that it took her years to realise that she was a self-expressed introvert, because she didn't get replenished from being around other people. She got replenished from being on her own. And I was like, that's totally me. I like being with people takes it from me. To like refill my well, to recharge my battery, I need some time on my own. And my husband's completely the opposite. When we get back from a festival, I'm like, thank goodness for that. And then he's like, goes straight out to the pub. He needs to be around people the whole time. And it's just that's completely opposite. And so it's really difficult for him to understand that this is how I am. And it's taken me years to be like, you know, and it was the years of work that I did before I met him. So I was already like this when he met me, but it was like, it took me a long time in my life's journey to realise that I should and needed to do this type of thing. I needed to have my own time, go away. And I've been doing it for a long time now. I've been going away nearly every year I've been with my husband for 10 years, 11 years, and I was doing it before I met him. So yeah, it's been a long time of taking myself away and having a little writing retreat in a little space on my own. And it just helps get the creative juices going. So if that sounds exciting to you and something that you'd like to give yourself permission to do, then I would highly recommend it. Yeah, so I'm just in glee. So the videos this week that I'll be making will be from my boudoir, and yeah, do this if it in any way speaks to you.